It's a long way from a hairdresser car now.
Hey! Hello there, so today we are full steam ahead on the MX5, so the sump is on the car.
The sump is on the car.
Was that your favourite job so far?
Yeah, it was a fun one, alright, yeah.
I honestly thought he was going to quit over that part. You weren't looking forward to it at all.
It was just me and me TIG welder were just having a bit of a disagreement, and it just didn't want to weld, and I did. Okay,
so moving on from there, we have some jazzy ass. What?
We have
police?
to stop using the word jazzy.
Is jazzy not?
No, people are copping onto it now. You know, the people are saying like, "Is this the new slang? The jazzy this and the jazzy that?"
Okay, what do you call these?
Factory.
Factory? There's nothing factory about that.
Factory is Mazworks.
It's technically fake Mazworks. Although we have a Mazworks part there, so does that make it legit?
Well, that's what I said. We could use it as clickbait. We'll just take a picture of the Mazworks bit and we'll just let on to everyone that you got a Mazworks.
Yeah, we got a Mazworks engine. So as well as that, we're kind of doing all the engine bits whilst the engine is out of the car. So Ryan is fitting, what's this, an oil relocation kit we have? So we have a Grassroots Performance oil relocation kit.
This little plate majiggy goes in here and replaces the sandwich plate.
And that means we can put this anywhere.
We can just put an
so
AN line.
Easy to change. Go on, you got something smart. You've got something smart.
I have a socket in my hand, not a Red Bull can this time.
Whoa!
See, the bucket. You can use it with the bucket.
Okay, so we're gonna get all these parts onto the car, and then the engine is gonna be going in the car for the only time it's gonna be going in and out of the car, unless something catastrophic happens when we're actually driving the car. Fingers crossed it won't. We also have the RX-8 subframe there, so I'm going to strip that down and then paint all that up, so then we should have the rear end fully fitted. And then all we're waiting for is the front steering arms from Destroyer Die, and then it'd be a full rolling shell. So I'd say we cut to a montage and get through the tricky bit of fitting the engine. So progress has been made, kind of, somewhat.
Somewhat, kind of, maybe.
I was going to say we had a good burst this morning of about an hour or two, and the engine went in, the gearbox was going in. It looked like we we're going to have a rolling shell by the end of the day.
And it all went downhill, just everything.
the culprit being this thing.
When you fit a clutch to the car, so your release bearing. This is a hydraulic release bearing that goes inside the box because it runs on these Samsonov gearboxes and stuff, right? So that bolts inside the box. When you put a new clutch on, you have to measure your distance from your clutch to your release bearing, right? So obviously we can't measure it. When you put the gearbox in, you can't physically get in there to measure it. So what you do is you measure from a flat face. So the flat face of the bell housing to the release bearing. So you put a flat edge on it and you measure it into the release bearing. And then you do the same on the clutch. You measure the flat edge of the clutch into the block, so where they would mate together, and you subtract them from each other. And what we came to the result of, when we bolt the gearbox in, the new clutch in the car will actually be pushing the release bearing in about 2 mil, which means it's always on. And kind of rule of thumb is to have a 3 to 5 mil gap between the clutch so that it's not slipping all the time. You know what I mean? It's not pressing up against it. So we just have to bring this down to a machinist tomorrow, and I'll just lay this down. I'm going to take about 6 mil out of it, and we have a bit of lenience. We can go back and forward if we have to.
So essentially this wasn't a problem with the old 180 because the clutch was so much smaller than this one, essentially.
He only had a
organic paddle XED clutch, which is, yeah, kind of the uprated clutch which you would put in a road car, which isn't the best, and that's why it went, which is why we're upgrading. But then whilst upgrading, we figured just a disaster.
Well, you needed it. It extreme twin plate sprung.
Yeah. And now the engine is in, we can, all these bits, so this is the...
I don't know what we're going to use that for yet.
No, that could be for power steering or for the water expansion tank.
We have an oil catch can, the racing lines supplied.
Which is a very nice one.
Actually,
but it's also a very big one.
Yeah, it's also very, very big, yeah. We just have to find somewhere to put that.
Which is the only places really in the engine bay is there.
Which is dun dun dun, where we were going to put the wastegate pipe out the wing. So that's looking more and more like we can't do that.
Okay, so there could be a bit of bad news. The wastegate may be in a normal position of down to the ground, which realistically is a sensible approach because there'd be less on new. Okay.
Wall break inside another wall break. We could put the wastegate pipe down and out the side skirt.
So there's a third option now. Actually, let me know what you think of that because I'm not too sure. Maybe when you're going through the pits, it could like scare people.
Or maybe we won't do that.
I was going to say definitely not do that. Okay, so we're going to wrap up today.
Hang on a minute. We never talked about what you got done today.
I got many things done
I'd
today.
like to just point this out. Hang on a second. So this is my work area. I've been working here all day.
Bit messy
Look
if
at
I...
this.
It's a bit messy if I may say.
I've left the very tools I need to do this job.
So
for the morning. Here, look. Just have a look at this now. All nice and neat.
Okay, so in my defense, he has 1, 2, 3 things.
No, a car. Give Josh a job. Let me take this. Look at this. All of this happened because he wanted to paint every single bit that was going back on the car. And you were planning on just going home and just leaving all this like this.
It's like a magic floor. I'd leave it, come back, and it's cleaned.
Yeah, magic, alright, yeah.
Right, hopefully tomorrow we get a lot done. This will be a rolling shell by the end of the episode. Is that achievable?
It would have been achievable today if you finished up the painting.
Not at all. It's going to be achievable by Thursday when you're watching this. It'd be a rolling shell. But it could have been done a few days before, but I've still got to edit the video. Just tomorrow. So I'm not sure if I can actually believe it, but for the first time during this, we started this project, me and Ryan are both in a t-shirt. So remember what I was saying about the magic floor? You come in and the floor is just cleaned. It's magic.
Magic.
Magic. And it's like a magic car as well. You come in and it's just built.
Stuff has just appeared on it.
It's like you've got little minions that come in overnight and they just fit all the parts that are on the floor.
Just one minion.
So in both mine and Dave's car, we're running BC coilovers. Neither of us have run these before, to be fair. But I mean, James Dean runs them and he's the best in the world, so they must be fairly good if I'm going to be honest. So we're both looking forward to testing these out. They gave us a few different spring rate options. We just kind of chucked them in with the standard springs in for the moment, but we're going to be testing out the spring rates. What does spring rates do?
If you have a really hard spring, it can't compress, so you're not actually using all your suspension travel. So
yeah.
You're not getting the benefits of all the suspension geometry changes you have to do to make it get more grip and more everything else, you know? So you needed to use all this travel to get it.
To get the most out of the suspension as possible.
Yeah.
So yeah, so it's great to be working with these guys, and that the fact of they do send us the different spring rates so we can test them out to hopefully get these cars handling as good as possible and to be as fast as possible, because that's the aim. So we've got the standard arms, we just sort of mock fitted these just so we can see what the clearance is going to be from the wheel well, so we can do all the fab work from the intercooler and the water pipes and stuff like that. Is that correct?
That is correct.
I'm getting some things correct. Adam!
We'll have a bit of good news and a bit of bad news.
Because there's only been bad news and
yeah, the cars only bring bad news, but I bring good news. Yeah, so we actually have bought some goodies for the garage. We have a brand 25% off sale off the Gas Monkey clothing. Unfortunately, thanks to your country, thanks to Brexit, we have to get rid of all of our Gas Monkey clothing, and so we're having a massive 25% off.
Why do I get blamed for Brexit? Like, I have nothing to do with the government or anything like that.
Really? Do you not? You're not. So now what we have?
What do we have? Are these goodies for me?
Hoodies for you, hoodies for the lads.
Go on, what is it?
Ride on you. No, this is the ride on t-shirt. You can ride on, Josh. Blood, sweat, and or what does it say?
Blood, sweat, and what?
Blood, sweat, and beers.
That's a t-shirt for you. You like beers.
I do like beers, and it's very, very warm today.
It's so damn hot.
Here's a half and half. So we got.
That's more subtle there.
Half a monkey. Half a monkey. All of these. Plenty more hoodies. All 25% off. On sale now.
Well, technically, it was a few days ago.
I swear, don't come down here.
I was going to take a small moment out of this episode whilst Ryan's fitting all the fittings and everything like that in the engine bay to give a quick shout out to Link ECU. Link ECU have been a supporter of ours for over 5 years now, and in our new cars we're running the G4X range. This ECU is ridiculously good. The technology that goes into it is incredible. Along with that, there's more sensors than I even know what to do with. There's sensors on each of the pedals telling us if we're clutching, accelerating, braking, about every sensor on the engine for temperatures, and it will even tell you before there's actually been a problem that there is going to be a problem. On my old drift car, it shut the engine down and it put it into limp mode before the problem actually did any damage. Link do an incredibly wide range of products, going from road cars, practice day cars, and full competitive drift cars. That's why we're running the G4X range in our drift cars, and it's probably the reason we spend more time on track than off track. So with Link ECU, you smoke your tyres, not your engines. Okay, so that is everything mounted into the engine bay that we need at the moment. So we're at the stage now where to get this to a rolling shower, we've got to put the wheels on it, obviously, which we're putting which we released before, the Strom DS25s. Why does I try and pick this up with one hand? Okay, better one. Yeah, so this is the 10.5, which is the more concaved one that's going to be going on the back of the car, and on the front we're running the 9. And then these tyres are literally just to kind of get it rolling because there's none of the semi-slicks that we're going to be running. So yeah, so we're going to put these onto the car and then hopefully roll this outside and get a montage and a few pictures of it.
Why do I want to put the wheels on?
Because you're standing around doing nothing.
I'm probably going to go home, to be honest.
It is past home time. Oh. I'll even roll it over. There you go. We have the jazzy wheel studs.
Yeah.
Look at them.
Yeah, look. So, I'll take that.
So the biggest swerve board, this is actually the front bumper of the car.
Yeah, you thought this was the body kit for the Corvette.
No, we're actually...
It's for the MX5.
We're making a fronted Corvette MX5.
Just cheaped out the budget. Couldn't afford two Corvettes, so we're just going to make one.
Just put that up again, Blaine. This is put into comparison how big the Corvette actually is. So, like, it's massive. This is the first time the car's going to be on its own weight since the start of the project. This is a fairly big moment, Ryan.
No, Josh, it's a small car.
Small car, big moment.
Just have a bed in, don't worry about that.
Okay guys, have you washed your hands?
No.
Oh man, you're gonna be putting all greasy arms in. One load of MX5 meets sunlight. What is that sound? They made it out! She's out the garage!
Alright, see you later.
You shouldn't even run a kit. You just run it like that.
I would say that would be the most badass car out there.
Cool. I can't wait to see you test this, but like that.
This is how it's going to be its first test. You know, like the Ken Block Unicorn test?
Yeah.
It's going to be exactly like that. Davis made it!
To be fair, from where it started, like, that is mental.
Is it mad that, how long ago was it, 3 months ago?
Yeah.
This started off doing a burnout over there.
Serious with the lights in and everything. That was a good call on the powder coat.
Thank you. This has been mine and Dave's biggest argument since the start, saying you're wasting your time. And what are you getting done now?
Everything proud about it? Yeah, everything proud about it.
As soon as he saw it go on my car.
I'm big enough to admit when I'm wrong, and that is unbelievable. So I am not going to be ever outshone. So at least if I evenly shine, I'll be quite happy.
And I'll be happily...
Mr. Carbon Fiber body kit.
I said I won't be outshone. It must be nice for you now to see it like after so many dark nights in the shed.
Yeah, it's nice. It came out well. It's a long way from a hairdressing car now.
Hey! It's good to actually see progress being made.
Looks unbelievable.
Yeah.
I've never seen an MX5 look like that. And that's the first time anyone's ever seen an SR20 sitting in one of those chassis. Ever. Ever.
So we're not.
Because at this stage the internet would have corrected us on the many claims we made at that over the last 3 months.
This was one of the biggest claims we made at the start, being the first MX5 NC to have an SR20. And we were sure.
Hey, NC, as in the chassis number NC.
Not NA?
Not NA,
Not NB?
not NB. Because of course there's been SR20s in loads of these, but not an NC. That's like saying an RX-7 and an RX-8 are the same car. They're not the same car, as Josh found out with all the rear arms.
Almost the same car, yeah. They didn't go too well together.
Should have put the bumper bar on it. Yeah, we should have put the bumper bar on it.
Bollocks! But there we go. Right, Adam, you may take pictures now. Get the wheel. Keep going. Keep it going. Straighten up. Wait. Yeah. You made it.
So you said, will you help me put the car back in? Josh?
Yeah, you just f***ed off then.
Put you back into it, Blaine. Go on. Ooh.
Here's the rest yourself.
Hi, Josh.
Thank you, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Here at Drift Games, we absolutely love online drifting. But more importantly, for you guys watching at home, we want to get you in the game as well. So we've partnered up with digitalmotorsports.com, Ireland's first online sim store, who are experts in everything when it comes to online drifting. And they're going to give you guys a full free sim rig at the end of this series. Now I know you want to know, how do you win? But it's quite simple. Every single episode of Games Changers, we're going to release a letter. It looks a bit like this. And that letter will form a sentence. And at the end of the series, the first person who can put that full sentence together correctly wins a full simulator. Now that's not bad going.
So the car has seen its first bit of sunlight and now is back in the shed. So yeah, to get it to this point is massive, I think. It's you kind of need that to see it on its own wheels to get a bit of motivation back, because there's a lot of long hours and a lot of days of you don't really see any progress. Even though you are making progress, obviously, you're not seeing it. So to actually see it out there in the light, rolling on all its own four wheels, the first time it has since we started this project and stripped it down, is amazing. And I can't thank the partners that have come in enough, that have supported the build and have really made it happen, and made it happen to a better quality than I ever imagined would be on this car. So we're going to round up this episode here. Make sure to subscribe, like the video, comment, do all the good stuff. And I think this part of the build is going to be really rewarding. It's going to be rewarding to watch. There's going to be a lot going on, and it's going to be very exciting. So catch you guys on the next time of Games Changers. I got it right that time as well, not Game Changers, Games Changers. It's a stupid name. Dave just made a tongue twister because he knew I would have trouble saying it. So yeah. Catch you guys on the next episode.